you guys remember when Paul Pierce got fired from ESPN from, I guess he was on his day off and he was having a good time partying at some place where there was a bunch of women and poker playing and all type of stuff. And he got fired from ESPN for like, I guess, inappropriate, whatever their standards was over there. We still don't know. But I think Paul kind of explained it. It appears that Paul Pierce is up to another type of moment. Now, if you don't remember the issue that got him out of ESPN, let's go back and watch a little bit. It's a long clip, so I'm not going to play the whole thing. But he was on Instagram Live, and he was showing off the women, and many people were like, well, it's not a big deal. He's just having fun. He's a man and stuff like that. And I think most people were on Paul's side on this because, like, look, he's just a guy on his day off enjoying himself. But I think ESPN's position was, look, you're representing a company, and even if you're not on the clock, you have to have some kind of, respect for, your job. Like, that's what happens when you work for a company. I think most people, the average Joe who probably just works for a store or a low-level job, you don't get this. You don't understand this. But I think, I'm not saying ESPN was right or wrong, but I think there was probably other issues behind the scenes that gave them the out. Like, when you do something like this, it's like, okay, we have an out now. You're gone. But this was like part of the video. Let's play some of it. And he's kind of like just, showing off the women. And it's a long video, so it's not really a lot going on here. See, all he's doing is kind of just like I don't know if he was doing anything crazy. I know there was one part where he was showing women dancing and all this type of stuff. And this is pretty much what got him in trouble at ESPN. And where they ended up letting him go. Right? So that now he's been at Fox Sports, and the issues that is going on at Fox Sports with their lawsuits and all that type of stuff going on, and you would think that all the employees there would be up to their best behavior. But Paul Pierce, who has a podcast, and he has a attractive co-host female, and he went on Instagram Live. And apparently he was drunk or he had some kind of drinking issue. And it looks like during this live that he's trying to grope his podcast host on Instagram Live in front of everybody. And let's see what's going on here. It's a short clip. And he appears to be trying to grope the podcast host as he's promoting the podcast. Let's play this clip.
This is my podcast host. We have a good rapport with one another. And like we're not together. Nothing. We are professionals, guys. Just know that. But we about to grow this to another level. But after we get off this live,
whoa, what the fuck? Wow. He was trying to kiss her. Like, go back again, watch this again.
We are professionals, guys. Just know that. But we about to grow this to another level. But after we get off this live,
make sure you guys are following, before we get off here, make sure you guys are following at The Truth After Dark at the end of the day. Okay? At The Truth After Dark. Thank you.
Lord,
on the live.
Don't be acting like that.
Bye, y'all.
So, obviously, there is something going on between those two. Because even she goes, we're on the live so people could see it. it is kind of strange because, look, I don't know how this looks, but for that woman who, whether they are doing something or not, if they are having sexual relations or not, it's kind of not really relevant. But what is relevant is if you're trying to promote a podcast and in a professional manner, as you said in your video, then you go on to be unprofessional. To Paul Pierce, that's not a big deal, right? He's not going to be punished in the industry for that. But this woman, who I don't know much about her, but if she wants to be taken serious in media, right, you gotta set some boundaries. And clearly, in this case, she seems to be okay with this behavior. And maybe she's okay with just doing podcasts and being like in that kind of entertainment. Maybe in that field, it's not really serious. Like if he wants to do news or politics or anything that would, something serious. But I just think that you have to be mindful when the way you purport yourself in settings, right? They're trying to promote the podcast, and then and she seems to be. Paul's not really respecting his co-host, and that's why they say, "Hey, don't sleep. You shouldn't be sleeping with the people that you work with because of stuff like this." Now, I don't know what this means as far as like, is Fox Sports is going to see this and think, oh, this is kind of inappropriate. This is not professional. Because I don't think his podcast is connected to Fox Sports. But with everything going on at Fox Sports, what do they think this is appropriate for a person to do even on their off time? I don't know. Maybe they don't care because Fox Sports might be a little bit more laid back. But still, I think this is kind of unprofessional. It's kind of like weird that you would try to grope your co-host on camera as you're promoting the podcast, and while he's trying to claim, oh, we're not doing anything, come on, you're definitely doing something, and you have the upper hand in that situation. You're Paul Pierce, you're a former NBA player, NBA legend, NBA Hall of Famer. Podcast probably was financed and started up by you. You might be the one controlling all the ins and outs there, so you are in a position of control. And I mean, I think it's kind of fucked up to see that. Like I said, maybe she's okay with that, but even if she is okay with that, that's still not an okay thing in general when it comes to, because other people come behind these people to try to get on board, and they feel like, man, I got to be sexual in order to be taken serious by a man or even get a position. So this is not a good look for Paul Pierce, and it potentially may not be a good look for her. How she's looked at. Now maybe she doesn't care, but I just think that's weird. Like, come on, Paul. Like, there seems to be a pattern of you like pretty much acting like this towards women. We've seen countless clips of Paul Pierce when he's at events where these women are like, whether they're bartenders or hostess or dealers or whatever, and he said some wild stuff. And on the grand scheme of things, people are like, who cares? These women know where they're at when they're in these positions. They know they're pretty much nothing. But it's kind of, I don't know. I think that some of these women, they're trying to make a living. They're trying to. Yes, they are in front of ball players and athletes, and they're in rooms where they probably know, okay, there's a good chance they might get groped, but that doesn't mean that is right? And I just think that these type of situations should be learning curves for anyone who's trying to, be in this type of lifestyle. I don't know. I don't think I'm not really seeing this as being that cool. I don't think it's nothing cool about this. And then it sounds like they do this stuff off camera too. So like I said, if you're a co-host, you're in partnership, you shouldn't really be trying to like sexually make moves on a person you're working with. That's just my opinion. I don't know. Maybe you guys think differently. Maybe you guys like, well, she's hot, I'm going to try to bang her if I work with her. Like, I don't know. I just think that is going to be a recipe for disaster when trying to build something. Because if anything goes wrong, she got Paul Pierce by the balls at that point, right? And now he's on camera doing that. Think about it. She could flip the script and sue his ass and say, "Oh, he tried to sexually touch me," or "He forced himself on me, and I felt like I had no choice but to sleep with him because he had the power dynamics." Like, this can go wrong in so many ways for Paul Pierce. So that's what you got to think about it. Even I'm coming at this from it's wrong from both parties, because for her, it's not gonna make her look good if she's being embarrassed like this. It looked like she's just somebody that you could just try to bang in to get her a position. And from his standpoint, he has a lot more to lose here if this goes wrong. So it's just not good to even engage, even if you're just friendly or, I don't know. It's just not good. It's not a good look. Well, let me know what you guys think about this. Do you think it's not that big of a deal? Do you think it's unprofessional? Do you not mind that you get to bang chicks that you work with? I don't know. I just think that is weird. That's my take.